Hi there, Trevor here from Double Bill Movies. Hope you are all well. Quick welcome to any of my new subscribers. Hi. I hope you enjoyed the channel. I have plenty of videos for you to look at. Things like how physical media is made, so how all these discs and that we collect are made. Not the pressing part, but how all the content is put on the disc. And I have a series going with Bumpers Movies called The 39, basically our views on what we think of the 39 films that were termed video nasties back in the early 80s. I have a few little mess around little movies. They're kind of reviews, but I do them in character. So if you want to find them, have a look through all my videos. Anyway, on with this video. All of you can see there is nothing in the shelf there, apart from a couple of movies that usually sit on top of what's there. And if you've been following my collection series, we are in 88 films. And so far we have done all 50 of the slasher collection. So the next collection that 88 Films started was the Italian collection. Now, I haven't collected every single one. I had no desire to, but apart from two, all the ones I have slipcovers on them. And there's a little bit of a story as to how I came by some of those, but I'll get to them as I come across them. So number one in the Italian collection, I do have it, and it is an original pressing. It does have the booklet and everything with it, but there was no slipcover because this was before 88 started doing slipcovers. And these were, I guess, quite widely available in the shop still because, or from their website, because they were still a young company and not all of us were snapping them up as quick as we can. So I wouldn't have got this when it came out. I think the Italian collection had been going for about 10, maybe 15 titles by the time I started collecting it. But anyway, I got this one, and it is the Night Train Murders. This is I think category 2 video nasty. I did own it once before, and got rid of it because I found it a bit too much to watch. But when I was looking back into the video nasties and thought, no, I do need it back in my collection, so I managed to find on eBay for a good price, like I said, with the booklet and everything. So that's number one. So the next one I have is number 5, and if you look around in your collection and go, what's number 5? It is Zombie Holocaust, and as you can see, I have a slipcover on this one. That's the reversible art. And that's the art you all know. Sorry if I'm a bit smug that I have slipcovers on mine. No, I'm only messing. I think I was just lucky that very early on I decided that I would get slipcovers, because to me, you know, I know it's the first edition, and yeah, you kind of get a little bit more of your money's worth, don't you, with the slips. So there's the back of the slip, and I'll give you a closer look at the front. So that's Zombie Holocaust. Now this one, this essentially is not a first edition, but I do have a slip for it, which is from the first edition. And the reason I have a slip for it is because it was one of my perks when I got involved in the restoration of the other SKU of this movie, which I have, along with four other movies, one of them being a category 1 video nasty. And we'll get to them in a minute, but and this is spine number 7, and it is Anthropophagus the Beast. What a lovely cover there of, is it George Eastman, is that his name? Now, as you may see, I have a blue Amaray case, but I do have the correct artwork and everything, but I don't have any art cards or anything like that. But I do have this little inlay. So yes, the slipcover essentially was basically one of my perks. So I'm guessing the reason this is a blue Amaray case is to show that it's not a first edition, but the slipcover, I don't know if they printed up some more or if they had spare, because if you've seen my video on packaging, I do sort of explain about slipcovers and why you only get a certain amount and this, that and the other. So that's Anthropophagus the Beast, and this one's also Anthropophagus the Beast. Now, you guys could get this with the slipcover quite easily, because when this was released, this wasn't a perk as such, but I did get this with my all the perks and gifts and everything I got from the raising of the money. It was an Indiegogo fundraiser, and this was actually a bonus restoration. The other 4 movies, what they wanted to raise money for, they wanted to raise £40,000, so that's 10,000 for one restoration. So you know, that kind of gives you a bit of a glimpse as to what goes on, and why some of these titles cost what they do. Even if they're not the best movies in the world, they, you know, they put the price on them because they've spent a lot of money getting them to this stage. Anyway, enough of that. So yes, this is the restored version of Anthropophagus the Beast, and it has the same artwork inside, but it has the, obviously that artwork of the slipcover, that one, that's to definitely differentiate it from the original. No booklet or anything, but you know, they don't need to. And so there we go. Not entirely sure why this one has a blue Amaray case. Maybe they were having supply problems, so they just had to go with blue ones. And that could be why, also why I have one for the first Anthropophagus the Beast. This is Zombie 3. Now, I started to get an idea of the zombie series. So you've got Zombie Flesh Eaters, which is known as Zombie. It's also known as Zombie 2. And I think, is it right that, is it Night of the Living Dead or one of the Dead films which is called Zombie? So yes, very confusing, but this is Zombie 3. Got one of those sort of matte finish, slightly silky slip covers. I think I just generally bought this one at the time of release, so it has the booklet. So yet another first edition. Right, now this one is a category 1 video nasty, and actually I'm going to show you the inside because I can't be bothered to flip the cover over, but it is SS Experiment Camp. So that's one lot of art, and that's the other lot of art. So obviously no slip on this one either, because there never was, but I quite like it. I think it's quite a good film. So that is SS Experiment Camp. Now, so this one was one of my perks. This actually, I think, was an Indiegogo fundraiser in itself. This was their first one that 88 Films did. And thankfully there's 2 versions of the film on here, which you all have, whether you have this first edition or not. So there's the regular version that they put on, but there is a 35mm grindhouse version, which is a very gritty looking, but really, to my eyes, the best way to watch it, and it is Burial Ground. Now, I had a few falling asleep moments watching this, and bizarrely I must have fallen asleep every time a zombie came on screen, because going by that cover, I know that cover's not essentially in the movie, but it sort of depicts lots of zombies and things, and I didn't see any the first couple of times I watched it. But when I watched it more recently, I definitely stayed awake, and wow, is there a lot of zombies in this film. So there we go. Yes, this has the booklet, and I think I've put that in from another release. Just like to put them together. So there's the booklet, and yes, even though it's sold out, essentially, maybe they decided to keep some back purely for perks for the restoration of the other 4 movies, and so I paid for this perk, so I bought it through that. And okay, so a lot of these slipcovers have foreign titles, so they're original sort of Italian title, I suppose. Vendetta del Futuro, that is Hands of Steel. So I guess it's like, as we know, the Italians like to sort of rip off a lot of their Hollywood movies, and I guess this is their version of Terminator. Again, I quite like this film. I thought it was really good. But there you go. There's your slipcover. And there's Hands of Steel. I don't think I'm going to go through all of these in one go. I think I might make this 2 videos. Let's see how we get on, shall we? Right, well, I'm not going to try and pronounce that. But this one is 7 Deaths in the Cat's Eye. But that is the slipcover. There you go, the original Italian title, and that's the main cover. Does it have a booklet? No booklet in this one. They didn't always come with booklets. It was just down to them, 88 Films, as to whether they put a booklet in. Now I'm not sure if this slipcover was an Indiegogo fundraiser exclusive. I can't remember. It's been a while since we did it. But if you want to find out, if you go on to Blu-ray.com and look up at all these Italian collection titles, when you scroll down, sometimes you see other versions of other releases, and you might see one with this cover, and you click on it and it will say Indiegogo exclusive. So, right, what else we got here? Now this was one of the films I helped raise money to restore. Now you've seen me wear a t-shirt of this. This was the first film that Bumper and I did in the 39 series, and of course it is absurd. And so there's my lovely slipcover, and there's the spine, and there's the back. There is a second set of credits at the end of the movie, which you can actually get to by clicking on thank you credits in the menu, and my name is in there somewhere. I'm the only Trevor in the list, so when you see Trevor, that's me. But there's quite a few names. It was great fun taking part in the fundraiser. I hope that pile doesn't get too messy. Right. I think this is one of the other full films, or was this another perk? I think this was another perk. So short Night of the Glass Dolls. That's my slipcover. Now, if I remember rightly, no, you know what? I don't remember the plot. I have seen it. Can't quite remember what I think of it, but that is Short Night of the Glass Dolls. Oh, now this one definitely was one of the 4 movies, and it is Spy Number 22, and it is Massacre in Dinosaur Valley. I know it's only a painting, but hey, we'll try and cover up the rude bits, don't we? So that's it without the slip. And there's the back of the slip. Not the clearest of pictures. It is actually that dull, not as vibrant, but yeah, Dinosaur Valley, but no dinosaurs, eh? Right. And this one also is definitely one of the 4 films that I helped restore, or helped pay for, and it is Enigma. I'll keep the slip back there. Shall we put my finger on it, shall we? Oops, it's stuck. So there's a censored version of the cover. Again, a bit dark, but that's the back of the slip. There's kind of a claw and hand and thing on there. Can't remember again what the film's like. I definitely have watched it. Right, so this one is, what is this one called? Ah, Beyond the Darkness. This is also, I think, a video nasty, because in here there's a leaflet. I don't know if any of you guys have that. It's called The British Censorship of Joe D'Amato. So yeah, I think this is a video nasty. Correct me if I'm wrong. There's a weird cover, that. But that's the slip cover. And there's the weird cover again. Right, so yeah, that must have been so Short Night of the Glass Dolls must have been one of the restored films. So here we have Amok. I just decided to get this with slipcover on release, basically. Bit of a weird film, I think. Yeah, I can show that. That's the back of the slip. So there we go, Amok. Well, this one's a little bit risky, but it's not showing anything you can't see. So, Le Photo di Giawa, if that's, or Gioia, I don't know. And it is actually delirium. Now, I used to get mixed up with this being the Delirium from the Video Nasties, but it's not. Because obviously when 88 released that, I realised it's a completely different Delirium. There we go, Delirium. Spy number 29. Yeah, it's not a bad film. It's the back of the slip. That is in it. That is a bit strange, but yes, I guess that's what makes it a horror film, or something like that anyway. Okay, so let's carry on going. So this slip is kind of two-sided. Most of you may know this as Zombie Creeping Flesh, and that's the slip there. But then if I turn it around, Virus. Now, is this a Video Nasty somewhere? Maybe category 3? I don't know. But that's probably the cover you'll see in the shops, mostly, if you see it now. There's the booklet. And there's another cover. That's number, excuse me, number 35. Yes, you know what, I'm still coughing. I'm not ill, I've just still got a cough. And I don't think it's anything malicious. Okay, so, well, this is Amazonia, or that title. Shiva Bianchi. I'm not sure if this is actually a true story, or if they just make it out to be a true story. But that's the slipcover, and that's the back of the slipcover. So you recognise that from there, basically. Booklet. And more artwork. So again, this is a two-sided slip, really. See, that's a much better picture, I think, than that is. Oh, now this one's got a really good soundtrack. And I actually think it's a pretty good film. And to be honest, I didn't get it until the end. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm easy to fool, or just disguise who is actually the killer. And it is Nightmare Beach. A lot of teenagers having fun and getting killed. But yeah, pretty good film like that. I kind of recommend checking that one out if you haven't seen it before. Spring Break is its other name. For you guys in the US, that's what you'll know it as, because that's what you have, spring break. We don't, we just have holidays. But there you go, the other cover. Yeah, so I'd recommend that one, checking that one out. And I think that was the first one with a white border, slipcover. Another one with a white border. Oh, this one feels heavy. Right. Again, I was quite impressed with this film. Quite a different sort of story. And I think it's a sort of a dubbed film. I don't know if it has the original. I can't remember if I watched it in the original Italian or not. Yeah, it's hard to tell when they released these. I wish they put a sort of an asterisk next to the original language rather than the dub, if you see what I mean. So yeah, Eyeball. Helps if I tell you what the title is, doesn't it? Pretty cool picture. Oh, so that's why it's heavy. It is a dual format. and I have art cards in it. Booklet, and of course your DVD and your Blu-ray. So there we go, that's why that one was so heavy. Only just goes in there. A bit puffy, that one. Right, another one with a kind of white border. This is number 46. This one I definitely recommend watching in the original Italian audio, because the dub is pretty good, I have to say. I think I started watching it in the dub, because obviously I automatically go for the English, unless I know for sure that the original audio is Italian. But it's Rats, Night of Terror. Kind of cool, actually. I quite liked it. I remember seeing the trailer and thinking I wasn't going to get it. Then I must have seen it cheap somewhere in a sale with the slip, so I thought, I'll pick it up. So there we go, Rats. The one with the white border. Right, so part of a sort of a franchise that isn't really a franchise, and probably doesn't have that much to do with zombies. And it's Zombie Flesh Eaters 3. I think I've fallen asleep to this one a number of times. I still haven't seen it all the way through properly. I think it was pretty naff, to be honest. So I would say I don't recommend this one. But unless you're a completist and you want all the Zombie Flesh Eater films, then I guess you need to get it, don't you? So there is a booklet in the first edition. And it's just all the same art. There's no different artwork for it. So there we go. What a shame. What a... After Death, another title. You know, they're just trying to jump on the bandwagon, aren't they? Well, this one doesn't have a white border as such, apart from the sleeve is just white. It is spine number... You know what? I can't tell because 48. And it is Black Veil for Lisa. Now, do any of you recognise her? Are any of you James Bond fans? And I think it's the film Thunderball. She's the redhead at the beginning, when they're in the pub, or upstairs in the pub. That pub is in Beaconsfield, which is not far from where I live, and you can drive past it. You can still see, it's called the Saracen's Head. You can still see sort of the entrance where they drive the car out of, but it's not an entrance anymore. Obviously things have moved on and it's become something else. But yes, she's the one in Thunderball. Not a bad little film, that. Quite enjoyed it. Right, this one I literally picked up yesterday. I went to the cinema to see Avatar: The Way of Water, which is very good, by the way. And we had a bit of time to kill before we went in, so I knew there was a H&B, so I popped down to it in the shopping centre. And as you do, you know, every time you go into these shops, you always find something to spend your money on. So John, please stop sending me to H&B to make videos. Though this was the Uxbridge shop, I've not made a video in there yet. I will go back there and do one. Unless any of you would like to go and do a video in Uxbridge for John's H&B series. That's John Clancy from Movie Collector. Anyway, it is Paganini Horror. Now, I wasn't going to get this, that's why I never got it originally, because this one's been out a while. But I saw it there with the slip, and I'm pretty sure there was another one. There were two in the shop. So there we go. That's the only reason I have this now, is because it has a slip on it. And it has the booklet inside and everything. Likewise, this one, Lombardo Barber movie, Macabre. Again, this one has a blue Amore case, so, but this is the new style blue. So I'm guessing this is, they've taken something out of the plastic, I would imagine, that's perhaps a bit less harmful for the environment. I don't necessarily like this lighter blue, but hey, we're kind of stuck with it now. That's all we're going to get, I would imagine. Yeah, there's a booklet and everything. I can't remember if I was going to go for this or not and just forgot about it. But like I said, it's there with a slip, so I'm going to get it, aren't I? This one was a bit disappointing in some ways, but still actually quite a good movie. Yeah, it is Witchcraft, or La Casa 4. It's number 62. Again, one of these sort of satin or silky or whatever you want to call it, matte finish slipcovers. Now I know there's a couple of other slipcovers that I haven't got from the Italian collection, and it's literally because I've watched the trailer, thought, no, there's no way I'm even going to bother owning that. Oh, I didn't notice that. So this film, hang on, can't be the same film, can it? Beyond the Darkness again? Because the other film earlier was called Beyond the Darkness, wasn't it? Anyway, this is La Casa 5. So, I don't know where 1, 2 and 3 are. But there we go. There's that slipcover on there. I think I may have got this in a sale from 88, direct from the website. Right. So another zombie movie. This one's apparently Zombie 5. There's sort of zombies in it, but it's Zombie 5 Killing Birds. This is actually a really good film. This is a nice box set. Got the book in it and everything. Just really cool artwork. Really, really good artwork. Let's see. That's also really cool artwork. So yeah, there's the book. There we go, Zombie 5. Well, I'm getting to the end now, so I might as well carry on, huh? Now, I sort of missed out on the box set of this, but I'm glad they reissued it with a slipcover. And I think, again, I saw it cheap. So is The Nun and the Devil. This was a really good movie. I really enjoyed it. There's quite a message in there, in the sense that they were trying to try these nuns for being blasphemous and witches. But then it's like, well, who's doing the killing? You know, the priests and that are doing the killing, because they're trying them, and so quite a good message in there. Who's the witch and who's the bad person? You know, witches never existed. They were wrongfully killed. This one I need to watch again because I did fall asleep, and I was quite enjoying it actually, but I must have been really tired. Zedda. This is by number 70. This is a nice box. Again, I think saw it cheap and thought, you know, I kind of don't want to miss out. If I don't like it, I can pass it on, can't I? Now this one I was really disappointed with. It's by number 71. It's a Charles Bronson film. It also has Telly Savalas in. Violent City, I got so far in, and of course they must have had trouble finding all English audio, because halfway through a scene it suddenly goes into Italian, then suddenly Charles's character speaks English for a little bit, and then it goes back to Italian, and I had to stop watching it, which was a shame because it was getting to a really good bit. They were going racing. Of course, I like my racing, my Formula 1 and that kind of thing. And they were back in those sort of 60s, 70s era cars. So I will try and get through it. Don't like the feel of this slipcover. It's that kind of, not glossy, but almost slightly leathery. Kind of weird. But yeah, disappointed with that one. Maybe they should have held off and tried to find all the English audio from somewhere. I don't know. Now these next two I got because, well, I got one and then I got the other one because I realised it had a documentary, the second part of a documentary on it. So it's a bit cheeky that they released this one first with part 2 of the documentary and the other part as part 1 on. So this came out first, Hitcher in the Dark. It was a really good film. I enjoyed this. And it says on the back, somewhere around there, part 2 of the documentary. And of course it is Umberto Lenzi. So I need to watch it, don't I? But the film's good. Very good film. So if you know your Italian collection, then the second one is Knife of Ice. I haven't seen this yet, so must get on and do that, hadn't I? Of course, with Christmas coming up, I'm going to finish work tomorrow. Maybe I can start watching some of these films. Yes, and there we have it. Part 1. I don't know if that's in focus, but hey, I'm sure you've got these in your collection so you can see for yourself, can't you? And then the last one that I've got is Violence in a Woman's Prison with Slip. So yeah, bit of an exploitation film, I guess. So there we go. That is my Italian collection. All with slips. That's my wife turning up. So if you heard a funny noise, then that's her. Anyway, that's the end of this episode. Please like and subscribe, and I shall see you soon.